Hey everyone, my name's Tara. We will be doing a Bowspring practice, so go ahead and get your space situated and come to a comfortable seat. So pick whatever seat works for you, and then just go ahead and reach back, untuck the tailbones, set the hips back, close the eyes for a moment, and just breathe. Tuning into the quality of the breath. Tune all the way into the heartbeat if you can, the rhythm of the heart. Notice if the heart is going fast or slow, and if that's connected to the breath. And just notice as you begin to watch the breath and the heart, they may slow. They might find some more space, some more freedom. Now, as you continue to watch the breath and the heart, begin to soften through the face, through the mouth, the jaw. Slight lift in the chin. Begin to move the shoulders away from each other, widening the shoulders, the elbows. The hands come to the thighs. And then begin to picture the entire rib cage lifting up away from the hips. So be careful that it's not just the front of the rib cage. It's really common to just lift and open the front and close the back. Instead, try to lift the back of the ribs just as much as the front of the ribs. Allow the breath to go down into the belly. Nice full inhales and exhales. And begin to root down through the hips, the legs, and the feet. As you root the lower body, inhale, lift the top of the head a little further. Find some more space. And start to find some small movements within the ribs, within the head, within the shoulders. As you took the ribs left, the top of the head moves right. And vice versa, move the ribs to the right, top of the head left. Moving back and forth. Maybe turn this into little circles. And switch directions. Keep the right hand where it is. Left hand's going to come to the left side of the head. Press the head up first and then press it back into the hand. Allow this to open the belly. Elbow stays narrow towards the head. With the right hand, press, lift the ribs up a little higher. And then slide right hand across to the outer left thigh. Pull the right hand right, press the leg left. And then begin to tip the head right. Ribs press left, expand here. Head presses into the hand. And then exhale, rotate, elbow comes down, look towards your right shoulder. Inhale, press the head back, rise up. Once more like that, exhaling down. Inhaling, lift. And then release right hand to the outer left elbow. With the hand, pull the elbow down. With the elbow, resist up. So if I did nothing with the elbow, it would be here. If I did nothing with the hand, it'd be here. There's this push-pull. We kind of stay where we were. Exhale, rotate down. Inhale, rise back up. Exhaling down. Inhale, rise. Release the right arm, press the head back. Right arm presses down energetically. Lift the ribs away from the hips. And let it go. Soften the eyes, soften the breath, bring the hands back down. And just observe. Notice the difference between the two sides. Press into the left hand, right hand comes to the right side of the head. Press the head up first and then back. We don't want to press the head back so much that the back of the neck shortens. We want all sides of the neck to be long. Elbow stays narrow, and then relax around the right shoulder. Soften. Instead of the shoulder being up by the ear, bring the shoulder wide and counter that with the elbow narrow. And then press into the left hand. Try not to lose any space on the left side as you begin to arc. Top of the head to the left, ribs press right. Left hand slides across to the outer right thigh. Pull with the hand to the left. Leg presses right. Little pulse here. Opening this right side body. And then after your next one, exhale, rotate. Chin down towards the shoulder, and then pick the whole thing back up. The head presses into the hand, ribs expand. Exhale, rotate down. Inhale, press up. And then bring the left hand to the outer elbow, arc down, press up. Once more like that. And this time release both hands forward, little sway. Allow the ribs to press right, ribs press left. The arms are just kind of an afterthought. They're swaying because the ribs are moving. So if you were to hug in, you could still do this. Same idea. The arms are just extended. Stretch the hands forward, lift the hips up, and then slowly bring the hands down. Bring the hands about the width of your mat. Hey, sweetie. She's joining us for class today. Bring the hands about the width of the mat. Pinky should be touching the edge of the mat. And then just go ahead and collapse everything. Let the elbows lock, let the shoulders lock, drop the head. No energy in the feet, nothing's going on. And then notice how this feels, especially for me in the upper shoulders. The neck feels terrible, not a fan. So we're gonna come out of this. Push the floor away from you, elbows press wide, shoulders expand, and then the ribs get really big. They inflate up towards the ceiling. From here, top of the head moves towards the front of your mat, back of the head up towards the ceiling. Knees begin to press wide, lift the glutes, top of the foot pulls in, heroing the foot. So not the toes, this is a little different. So the top of the foot is on your mat, heels squeeze in, knees press wide, and then pull the hands towards the knees. Oh, not now, baby, not now. Exhale, pull the hips back and wide. Inhale, draw the shoulders forward. Exhale, hips move back. Inhale, pull your way. Ideally, you're pulling so much that you begin to get really shaky. And this is working the back of the arm a lot. Exhale, set the hips back and wide. Dome the right hand, so come to the fingertips. Make sure that no joint in the hand is locked. So the opposite of this. You see the hands? Yeah. Okay, cool. Fingertips to the mat, and then arc ribs to the right. Head moves left. Exhale, hips back and wide. Couple more like that. Bring the right hand to the head, begin to arc a little bit more. Press the head back into the hand. Make sure the back of the neck is still long. Exhale, fingertips come back to where they came from. Right foot comes to your mat, and you can kickstand left foot off to the side. Exhale, hips move back, And then arc forward again, ribs rise. And then I see a lot of this tucking into a little ball and then pulling forward. So really resist that. Instead of tucking into a ball, compressing the spine, let's bring your hand to the belly. And then notice the shape of the belly. Press the hips back even more. See if you can get the belly as long, as slim as possible. Yeah, so the belly isn't bulging forward. If that makes sense. It's not, there's not excess skin here. Hips move back. Belly is long, ribs rise. Keep your hand on your belly, hips move back, and then pull your way forward. Hips move back, belly stays the same, pull forward. Belly stays exactly the same on the way forward back, so does the neck. If you had a neck brace and a back brace on, you could still do this. Hopefully you will never need those because we're gonna build our own back and neck brace. Extend the right arm, left ear towards the left shoulder, right ribs expand. Exhale, right hand to the right knee, press them into each other, get even longer in the torso. Outer left foot comes up, fiesta the foot, knee down, hips rise. Widen the back of the hips, right heel squeezes towards the hip. And then re-extend, arm comes up overhead, ribs rise, little bicycle here. Squeeze the heel towards the hip, push the floor away from you. Make sure this left elbow did not go into a locked position. Little micro bend here. Exhale, right foot comes down, right hand comes down, and bring the right knee down. Kickstand the right foot, so bring it off of your mat. Top of the foot comes towards the knee, hips press back, and then hips move back, arc up and over. Bring the left hand to the belly. As your hips move back, notice if the belly changes shape. Ideally, it stays exactly the same. We want the belly to be as long as possible. Less loose skin here as we move the hips back because we're not rounding, we're not doing this. We're not looking down towards our feet. We know they're there, but we don't need to see them. We're good. Keep your gaze forward, kind of where the left hand used to be. And then it can shift forward. But as you move back, it shouldn't go any further back than where the hand used to be. Extend left arm forward, and then bring the hand to the head, set the hips back and wide. Press from the right hand, arc through the left ribs. Left hand to the left knee, press the hand and the knee into each other, get a little longer. Fiesta the left foot, the outer foot presses up. Belly elongates, right ear towards the right shoulder, allow the ribs to rise even more. Left heel really squeezes towards the hip. Keep all that. Extend the arm towards the front of your mat. Little bicycle, squeeze the heel towards the hip. And then left hand comes down, left knee comes down, hips move back and wide. Pull your way forward. Keep the belly and the throat long. And then dome the left hand, ribs move left, top of the head moves right. Exhale, both hands come down, little circle here. Switch directions. All right. Coming back to center, really make sure you're engaged. So instead of hyperextending the arms, dumping into everything, the exact opposite. We want everything to be toned. Push the floor away. Make sure the hands are wide. So super common to have really narrow locked hands, locked elbows, locked shoulders, really not great. Bring the hands a bit wider, push the floor away from you. Get big in the upper body. It's big as you can. And then soften around the neck. So just because the ribs are lifted doesn't mean the neck needs to be tense. Go ahead and move the head right and left. Arc the neck right and left. And then re-push the floor away from you. Fill the upper back, knees pressed wide, hips glide up. Tuck the toes, lift the knees for crouching cat. Set the hips towards the heels, pull your way forward. Couple pulses here. And then go ahead, twist the knees to the right, hips press back to the left so much that you dome the right hand, left ear to the left shoulder, right ribs rise for twisted cat right. Hips sit back towards the heels, so almost like you're gonna sit on the hips, and then arc up and over. If this is too much, left knee comes back down to where we were. Little pulse here. Your gaze should be on your right hand. Notice the right hand. If it's locked, see if you can shift it. Make every joint soft. And then left heel slides down to your mat or the left knee. Right outer foot presses up. Fiesta the foot. So the foot presses up, knee presses down. Hips move back and wide. Elongate the belly here. Option to stay here or bring the arm forward. I really like hand to the head. Right heel squeezes to the hip. And little bicycle here. Watch that left elbow. Watch the right elbow as well. It should be in line with the nose. It should be in your vision. Right hand meets the right knee. Press them into each other. Elongate the belly. Left foot steps halfway forward. Rotate the back heel down. Press into the right hand on the right knee. Left ribs rise. Exhale, hips move back and wide. Pulse, lift the left ribs, right ear towards the right shoulder. Little pulse here. Left hand comes to the left side of the head, elbows narrow, head presses back. And then maybe slide right elbow down to the knee. Hand is going to come back to the belly. So here's another one I see all the time in my class. People get real small, they look down at their feet or even through their legs, and then kind of come out of it. Resist that. Belly stays super long, hand comes to the belly so you can feel what's going on in your body. Elbow to the knee, hand to the belly. Press the hips back and then press the head back. Hips press back, knees press forward, and then head extends back. Left ribs rise. Right ear more towards the right shoulder. Once you feel like you've got the belly long, seed the hand, press the elbow into the knee. Keep space around that right shoulder. And then on your next one, knees forward, hips back, head presses into the hand, rise all the way up. Right arm extends forward, seed the hand, and then keep your hollow so the wrist is hollow, elbow presses out to the side, and hopefully the armpit is hollow here. Rotate the back knee and the back foot. Option to hover the front heel. Knees both press forward. Hips then resist, they press back. Knees also press wide. Imagine rubber bands around the legs. Set the hips down, knees forward, and then press right arm down. The head presses into the hand, rise up. Hips hinge back. Press down to rise up. Belly and throat stay long. They don't change. And then on your next one, knees press forward, hips back. Bring the right heel down. Lift left knee forward. Hips, heart, and head all press back. Hover here. Left heel squeezes towards the left hip. Can you get that glute to fire? Exhale, hand comes to the left knee. with the hand, pull right. With the leg, press left. Squeeze the heel towards the glute and then arc up and over. Exhale, bend right knee. Bring the left ankle to the right knee, figure four. It can also come down to your mat if that's more stable for you. And then we're gonna bring both hands to globe. Fingertips touch, every joint in the hand is super soft. Press the hands into each other, elbows move wide, pull the hands towards the belly, lift the chin. Press both knees forward, hips sit back, and then ankle and knee really are pushing into each other. Little pulse. Lift your gaze, eyes on the horizon. Try to resist looking down at the floor. And then from here, knees are forward, hips are back. Exhale, twist right with the upper body. Inhale through center. Exhale, other side. Inhale through center. Exhale, right one last time. Good. Go ahead and bend the knees more, set the hips back more. Belly stays long. Left hand to the left heel. We're going to extend, reach, hips move back, right arm stretches forward. And then maybe begin to extend this left leg. It does not need to go all the way straight. More important, hips stay back, belly stays long. Right arm presses down, lengthen here, soften the breath. Exhale, rebend this left leg. Switch your grip, so grab the front of the ankle, knee narrows towards the right knee. And then press the legs wide, imagine those rubber bands around them. Ribs are full on all sides. Ankle really presses into the knee, toes are soft, but the ankle is flexed. Stretch right arm forward, lengthen, bend through the right knee, hinge from the hips, and then press into the hand on that left side to come up. Hinge here. If you try to do this all with the right thigh, so hard. Press the ankle into the hand to rise up. And then maybe this time, hand to the head, press the head back and hinge. Last one like that. Exhale, release the foot. And then we're going to bring it off of your mat, perpendicular to the front foot for zigzag. Knees press wide, hips move back. Option to keep a little, a very slight dip squat. Lack of words right now, sorry. Let's go ahead and seed both hands. Allow the middle knuckle, the middle bone here to press into each other. Arms really press so that the shoulders and the elbows move wide. Hands pull toward the belly. And then hips sit back, rise up. This can be as deep or as shallow as you would like to take it. And then after your next one, hips sit back, extend the arms forward, reach them forward. Imagine you're trying to reach for something, and then at the same time, the ribs are pressing back as if they're trying to reach for something as well. Bend both knees. The left knee meets the left hand. Stretch. Exhale, back into your zigzag. Inhale, come forward, touch. Seed to knee. Hips resist back. Keep that left foot fiested as you come up. Once more like that. Right arm stretches long, fiesta the left foot. Reach, reach, lengthen. Keep the belly, the throat as long as you can. Right hand is going to slowly lower fingertips to the floor, right ear towards the right shoulder. And then go ahead and bring the left arm to the floor as well. Walk the right hand out. Left hand, left knee connect once more. Option for blue moon here. Rotate the right heel towards the right hand. Toes move away from you. Hips stay low. Belly is long. Throat is long. And then rotate the right heel. Bring it back to where it was. And then the left foot's going to come down. Slide the hands back in. Left ribs lead you up. Left foot is down. Good. Little seaweed sway here. Ribs press left, they press right. And then notice the position of this back foot. Mine was slightly in, so readjust, get situated. Hero the left foot. So again, top of the foot touches the floor, not the bottom of the toes. Top of the foot, pull towards the knee, hips pull back, knees press wide. Left arm's going to stretch forward. Hover the right heel. Right arm stretches forward. And then with the right heel still on the mat, pull the right heel towards the hip. Press down with the hands, lengthen the belly, throat. Squeeze so much that you begin to find this wobbly balance on the right side, picking up the foot. Right hand, right knee might connect. Left arm stretches. Even if it's wobbly, keep trying. Mine is super wobbly today. No worries, it happens. And then with control, right foot comes back to meet the left. Fingertips come forward. Pull the ribs forward, expand them fully. And then hips sit back, bring the elbows and the forehead down, soften here. Take some breaths. Alright, making your way back to your hands, to your knees. Hands are the width of your mat, so no narrower. Pinkies should be able to touch the edge of your mat. Elbows press wide, push the floor away from you. Get as big as you can in your upper back. In fact, drop the top of the head. Fill the upper back fully. And then keep the upper back exactly the same. Top of the head now stretches forward, back of the head up towards the ceiling. Nice little cervical curve that moves inward in the back of the neck. Thoracic spine continues to move up. Knees press wide, get the tailbone to lift. Lumbar spine moves in. Top of the foot pulls towards the knee, heroing the foot. Squeeze the heels towards each other. Super tone. If you're doing this right, there should be no part of the body that's just asleep. You might even be shaking because it is super tone. Exhale, hips move back. Pull the hands towards the knees to extend, to tone more, sorry. And then extend forward. Lengthen. Imagine someone pulling your hips back, someone else pulling the ribs forward, trying to create more space in the vertebrae. More space for each and every disc in the spine and in the neck. Keep this. Notice the position of the neck. So oftentimes things switch when we come up. Ideally, we want the neck to feel and look kind of the same. Tuck the toes, lift the knees. Adjust the neck, so soften any tension here. Yeah, from here, twisted cat left. So twist the knees to the left, press the feet to get the hips to pull back. Pull back so much that you dome the left hand. Keep every joint soft here in the hand. Make sure the right elbow isn't locking. Right elbow presses right, hips move back. Right ear is towards the right shoulder to inhale, get the ribs to lift. Exhale, set the hips towards the heels. Arc up and over. Again, if this is too much, right knee can come back down to your mat. And then set the right knee or the right heel down, dig, drag, left foot rises, fiesta the foot, so bring the outer foot up. Right ear towards the right shoulder a little more, extend the left arm maybe, or leave it as is. Little pulse here, bicycle the leg, squeeze the heel towards the hip. Option to bring left hand to the left side of the head. And then left hand presses into the left knee, elongate the belly here. Exhale, left foot steps halfway forward, rotate the back foot, heel rotates down. And then left hand to the left thigh, right ribs extend, rise up. Bend the knees, set the hips back. And then press into the left hand, allow the ribs to expand. Hips move back, extend the ribs. Bring the left elbow to the left knee, left hand to the belly. Notice if the belly is staying the same shape. We want it to stay the same. Your gaze is more towards the right hand. Option to bring the right hand now to the head, arc the ribs up a little bit more. Pulsing here. Learning to hinge from your joints, not from the belly. And then press the head into the hand, rise all the way up. Left arm extends, rotate back foot and knee forward. Option, hover the front heel. Knees forward, hips back, left hand presses down, rise up. As you come up, make sure you stop the knees early. So don't lock the knees, don't lock the hips. So the difference between here, super painful, not fun for the low back, or here, nice and soft. Think about lifting the head up first and then back. So less back bendy, more lift. And then after your next one, knees sit forward, hips back, left heel lowers, right knee comes forward, hips, heart and head all press back. Hero the foot, squeeze right heel towards the right glute. Can the right side be just as toned as the left? Left hand comes to the outer right knee, hand and knee connect. Hand pulls left arm, or the leg presses right, and then right ribs rise. Exhale, right ankle meets the left knee. Bring both hands to globe. Fingertips touch, elbows press wide, hands pull in as the ribs pull back. Lift the chin, eyes on the horizon, and then both knees come forward and wide. So that width with the knees, if you press the knees wide, that's how you get the glutes to really tone and engage. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale right. Inhale through center. Exhale left. Bend the knees more, set the hips back more. Imagine sitting in a chair. Keep the belly long. Right hand might meet the right heel. Left arm extends. And then unwind, unhook the ankle from the knee. Extend here. So knee can be very, very bent. Left hand presses down. Engage more than just the left thigh. Yeah, maybe begin to straighten this right leg. It does not have to go all the way straight. I have super tight hamstrings. This took me forever to get. And it's still not where I want it to be. Exhale, release. Bend the right knee. Hook the opposite side, so hook the front of the right ankle from the right side of the leg. Left arm stretches forward. Both knees press forward. They're narrow, but they're gonna press wide. Right ankle presses into the right hand, hinge from the hips, lower a little bit, and then ankle presses into the hand to come up. Don't let the left thigh do everything. It's gonna want to press into the hand to come up. Much easier if the whole body's doing it rather than just one muscle group. And then left hand to the head, try a couple more like that. Head can now press into the hand to help lift. Last one here. Exhale, zigzag, footsteps off of your mat, kind of perpendicular, parallel. No, not parallel, perpendicular. I had it right the first time. Knees press wide. This time, bring the hands to the thighs at first. Knees press wide, slide the hands down, hips sit back. So, I don't know if you can see it from that angle, but ideally hips really move back, yeah? So I see a lot of this in class, this kind of thing. Oh, it's really heavy in the thighs. I've never actually tried that. It's really hard. If you tuck the tailbone and you sit straight down, woo, don't do that. Hips press back is like your hips are trying to sit past your back heel. And then this time, bring the hands to the crown, press the head up, lift up, hips move back and wide. Just lift, lengthen up. On your next one, release the arms forward. Ribs resist back, arms press forward, knees forward, hips back. And then press right knee to the right seat, to the right hand. As you make that connection, knees really press, hips move back, elongate the belly, touch back, zigzag, and come forward. Option for a little zigzag squat in the middle, or not. On your next one, we're gonna go ahead and hold. Right hand, right knee, connect. Press them into each other. Reach this left arm as if you're reaching for something just out of your reach. Yeah, so the ribs are full, arm is long. Fiesta the left foot, knee is narrow. Bend the left knee, hips move back, belly and throat stay long as you begin to bring the left hand outside of the left foot. Left ear, left shoulder, ribs rise, and then release, waterfall the right hand. Set the right hand down, walk the left hand further away from you. Option to stay here or bring the left heel towards the left hand for Blue Moon. Re-rotate left foot back to how it came. Walk the hands back in. And then bend, top of the right foot comes down and then the right knee comes down. Yeah, hips move back. Arms press forward, press up. Hips move back. And then readjust the back of the right foot. So make sure it's kind of in line. Top of the foot squeezes in. Heel and the hip are like a magnet. They want to reach each other. That will tone the back of this leg. So without that, with just this, it's all the thigh for me. I feel nothing else going on except for the thigh. So this activates this entire posterior chain. Really strong, powerful. All right, stretch the arms forward, hover the left heel. Same idea, as the heel hovers, act like this is a magnet between the two, from the left hip towards the left heel. Reach the arms forward, and then begin to slowly hover. It will be wobbly. For me, it's wobbly as well. Hips move back. Some days are better than others. And I honestly do better at night with these. Morning is not my time. Left hand to the left knee. Maybe find some length in the belly. And slowly bring the foot down. Hips move back. Arc to the right, ribs press left. Exhale, hips move back. Switch arms to the opposite side, ribs to the opposite side. Couple more like that. Exhale, hips move back. Inhale, ribs rise. On your next one, hips move back. Bring the arms to the right. Right hand might find the right heel. Left ribs extend. Resist the urge to lock the hips forward. Keep the hips back. Left hand might come to the crown. Hips move back. Extend the left ribs. So as you come up is where there's a tendency to lock, especially the left hip. Keep it soft. Inhale through center. Opposite side. So lift the right side. Lift the left side. Hips move back to touch the heel. And then arc up and over. Hips keep their way back. Knees press wide. Notice if you feel this just in the thighs. Try to get more in the glutes. Right hand to the right side of the head. Exhale, drive the hands forward. Elbows come forward. Head comes down. Soften here. All right, we're gonna do one more little sequence before we cool down. Move to a wall if you have one. We don't get to use the wall at the gym much at all because they have this issue with feet on the mirrors. They won't let me do it. It's very sad. But we're gonna use a wall since we're at home. So I'm gonna use this, but yeah, be careful. Find a safe space. All right, so we are going to bring your back towards your wall. Actually, maybe I'll do this one so you can see better. Yeah, so bring your back to your wall. And then hips are gonna move back. Bring your hands down to your knees. Watch the position. Even for me, I'm still fighting this default. So coming up, as I come down, I want to tuck my chin. I want to look at my feet. I don't know why. It's just this default to just kind of do nothing here. So come back up. If that happened to you, it happened to me. Bring the hands back to the knees. And then your gaze is far forward. It's like 6 feet in front of me because that's with all sides of my words right now. We want space on all sides of the neck. Throat long. Knees forward, hips back. Hover the heels. Begin to engage the glutes. Press the knees wide. And then bring the hands forward. Keep the glutes toned. That's what's going to lift you. Fingertips touch. Walk the hands forward and wide. So no narrow hands. Bring them wider than you think. Farther away from each other. Push the floor away, step the feet back so that your heels are on your wall. Yeah? Fill the upper back, knees set back and wide, pull your way forward. Couple little crouching cat pulses here. All right, set the hips back, and then begin to bring one foot at a time to your wall. Walk the hands in a bit, hips move back. Pull the ribs away from the wall. And then twist your cat. Let's do twisted cat right since we did that first. So knees to the right, hips press left. Left elbow is not locked. Option to dome the right hand, left ear towards the right shoulder. Hips press back. Maybe extend this right arm. Exhale, right hand down, twisted cat left, knees to the left, push the hips right. Option to dome the left hand. Left arm extends. Exhale, hand back. And then step one foot at a time back to your mat. Knees come down, hands come down, soften the head. Calm the breath. All right, we're going to do one more optional thing at the wall, and then I promise we'll cool down. We're all done. This time we're going to do the opposite. So some people, that way is really scary because you can fall away from your wall. We're going to do it the opposite way. So this time we're going to place our hands in front of the wall, probably about 6 inches or so away from it. And we're just going to start on our hands and knees. So if you do not want to go upside down, don't feel obligated to. This is perfect. Maybe just stay here. Elbows press wide. Fill the upper back. Floor presses away from you. Top of the head pulls towards the wall. Back of the head up towards the ceiling. Knees press wide. Heels squeeze in. So same thing through the entire practice. All the cues are exactly the same. It's not like we want to change anything as we do this. Tuck the toes. Lift the knees. Walk one foot at a time, a little bit closer to you. And then whichever knee you want to lift, does not matter. You can lift one knee or the other. Maybe you'll come down and you'll do both. And we're just going to do a tiny kick off of the other foot. So you may not ever go near the wall. I did not start going to the wall. So just a tiny little hop. It can be an inch off of your mat. This can be perfect. It can be a little higher, or it can be that you're trying to get your hips to touch the wall. Push the floor away from you. If you can, hips are close to the wall, head and heart are full. Knees are bent here. You can bring your heels to the wall, squeeze the heel to the hips, push the floor away from you. If and when you come down, I came down, I didn't really mean to. Go back up. Maybe try the opposite leg, getting you up this time. Step one foot closer. Knee pulls forward, heel squeezes towards the hip. Again, push the floor away and see if maybe you can very lightly touch hips or the foot to the wall. Knees are down more than you'd think. Heels squeeze towards the hips. When you're ready, bring the knees down, the forehead down. Take a couple breaths here. I miss practicing with a wall. I wish I could do that at the gym, you guys. It's been a little while. I got in trouble. Yeah, okay. All right, can you see me on the ground? Okay, if I see here. All right, so we're gonna finally make our way to the ground. Before we get there, bring all fours, find some circles. And then pick up the knees, twist them to the right, left heel comes down. Extend left arm, side bow, left ear is towards the left shoulder, the top of the head is down on the ground. Right fingertips dome off of your mat, left outer body presses down. So, okay, you can see, okay, cool. Left outer foot, left hip, left shoulder, and left side of the head all press down so much the right leg gets jealous. It wants to press up. So it presses just a couple inches off of the left. Imagining resistant bands around the legs, press them wide. One around the thigh, one around the ankle. Or sorry, not the ankle, the calves. And then option to bring both hands to either side of the head. Elbows stay narrow. Press the head back into the hands and then maybe begin to arc the ribs up as the right elbow comes down towards your mat. Little bicycle with this right leg. And even here, keep the back of the neck, keep the back of the low back alone. Exhale, the right foot is gonna, right knee and foot come in front of the left. If you need to, you can slide the left one back a little bit. Left arm re-extends. Right arm stretches up towards the ceiling. Left arm follows up towards the ceiling. Seed both hands. So press the thumb into the hand. The rest of the fingers are soft. There's space here. Arms energetically pull towards the legs. Right out inner foot, left outer foot. Press into your mat to get the hips to move back. Couple deep breaths into the lowest part of the belly. Exhale, left hand to the outer right knee, right fingertips to the floor, up near the head. Pull with both hands. Couple more deep breaths here. And then as you exhale, roll back to your left side. Right elbow is going to come to your mat as you kind of maneuver the left elbow out from underneath you. Hips are back, knees are forward. And then elbows are down on your mat. Push the floor away. Bring the elbows wide. Let the top of the head fall for a moment. Fill the upper back. And then pull the head back forward. Elbows re-pull towards the hips. Lengthen the belly. Option to stay here or rose hands. So one hand to a seed, the other hand wraps around. Elbows press wide, forehead comes down. Elbows pull narrow. Push the floor away, fill the upper back. I really like this transition, but if you do not, find one that works for you. So press into the elbows, tuck the toes, and we're just gonna twist knees to the left, hips pull back to the right. And then elbows press wide, fill the upper back, drop the top of the head, tuck the chin in for a moment. And then keep the upper back that full as you unpeel the head, top of the head pulls forward, back of the head up towards the ceiling, elbows pull towards the hips. Lengthen the belly. Option to stay here or opposite rose hand. So try to switch the clasp of the hands. Opposite hand wraps around, elbows pull wide, forehead comes down. And then press into the left hand underneath the left shoulder. Extend the right arm at a diagonal. Roll onto your right side. Stack the knees. Both knees should be forward. Press into the knees. Get the hips to move back even more. Bring the right shoulder kind of forward so that the head can come all the way down. So we don't want to be holding up the head. Bring the top of the head all the way down. Left hand domes off of your mat in front of your chest, elbow up towards the ceiling. Knees press forward, right side of the body really pushes down. So press the right foot, the right hip, and knee down, right shoulder down, right side of the head presses down. And press down so much that the left leg wants to kind of hover a couple inches off of the other one. Left hand really can pull towards the knees to get more length out of the belly. Feels so good. And then option to keep the hands there or bring both hands to either side of the head. Press the head towards the front of your mat and then back. So make sure, be mindful not to compress the back of the neck. It should stay long. Even though the head presses back, it should stay long. Hips press back. Little pulse. Bicycle this left leg. Option to bring the left ribs up higher. Left elbow can begin to lower towards the right. Arcing almost like a rainbow shape here. Exhale, go ahead and bring the left knee back in front of the right. And then left arm comes up towards the ceiling, right arm follows. Press into the left inner foot, the right outer foot, to get the hips to move back even further. The seed hands press down towards the legs, lengthening the belly. So if I just do nothing with my arms, if I'm soft here, chances are my belly's pretty short. Something about pulling the hands towards the hips, lengthening and widening the upper body gets this amazing deep stretch all the way into the belly, into the low back. Feels amazing. I love it. Right hand to the outer left leg, left fingertips to the floor. Pull with both hands. Couple deep breaths here. Go ahead and slide the right knee forward so that it meets under the left knee. Bring both arms back up toward the ceiling, left knee, and then the right knee find their way up. And resituate with the back of the body. So readjust using the back of your body. From here, press into the feet, hover the hips, lift the belly, slide the hips right, slide them left. And then slowly make this smaller and smaller and smaller, finding center. Finally, press the hips down, let the belly stay lifted. Bring the feet a little further away from you, about the width of your mat. Lift the chin. So there should be connection to the back of your head on your mat, connection with the back of the ribs, the hips, and the feet. Ideally, the low back and the back of the neck are not on your mat. There's curves in the spine. We want to keep those curves intact. Allow the knees to fall right. Allow the arms to lengthen to the left. Inhale, lift everything up. Exhale, knees to the left. Arms lengthen right. This time, rotate fingertips to the floor, elbows towards the ceiling. The thumb is closer to the head. So I see a lot of times people like put the thumb farther away, thumb near the head. And then press the fingertips into the floor gently. Pull the hands towards the head. Lengthen the belly, lift the chin. And then one more time, knees stretch right. Let them fall to the right. Imagine pulling the hands, lengthening the belly. Finding a little more space here. If you'd like, stay as you are, or right foot can come to the outer left knee, pressing down a little bit more. Very, very gently. If you try it, you don't like it, come out of it. Feel free to adjust, move, anything that feels slightly funny. I just moved my left foot a little bit, didn't feel like it was quite in the right place for me. And then when I did move, I moved it slightly to the right. So try that, see how it feels. I get a much deeper sensation into the psoas, which is where I'm tight on this side. So explore where you're tight. Relift the chin if it's sunken down a little bit. And then release the ankle off of the knee. Inhale, knees up. Exhale, let them fall to the other side. Pull with the hands just a little bit. So the hands are still soft, but there's this energetic pull towards the body to lengthen the belly. Maybe you stay here, maybe left ankle to the right knee. Feel free to adjust the right foot a little bit, maybe moving it to the left, maybe moving it up higher towards the hips. Play with it, see where you're tight. Deep breaths into the belly. Exhale, foot releases from the knee. Inhaling up. Exhale, hands to the belly. Just a little quick knees to the right. Inhaling up, knees to the left. And then exhale, bottom of the feet come together. Knees fall apart. Couple breaths into the belly. Hands are going to help close the knees. And then bring the hands to the knees, rock right, rock left. Exhale, feet come all the way down. Let them extend. Take a deep breath here. Reach with your breath through your toes, through your fingers. Stretch as long as you can. Lengthen. And as you exhale, soften fully. One more time like that. Inhale, stretch, reach all the way through the toes, through the fingers, through the top of the head. And exhale, soften completely. And from here on, with each and every exhale, soften a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Until you eventually soften everything, even losing control of your breath. willing for you to stay a little bit longer, or if you're ready, begin to just rock the back of your head from right to left as you deepen the breath once more. So it can be really tiny, it can be large. And begin to find movement in the right hand, the right foot, left hand, left foot. And take a deep inhale, stretch through the limbs. If it feels right, stretch the arms up overhead, lengthen, reach from the fingertips down through the toes. Exhale, feet come back. Roll to either side. Make your way back to a seat. And just pause before you go on with your day or your night, your morning, whatever time of day it is. Just take a moment, quick moment, close the eyes, observe how you feel. Notice the breath, notice the heart rate. Notice hopefully a little bit more space between the vertebrae, more space for the discs, more space for the breath, for the organs, for life. Stretch the arms wide with the eyes closed. See if you can draw the fingertips to meet, finding glove hands without the use of the eyes. Draw the palms in. Namaste. Stretch up if it feels right. Exhale, soften. Thank you guys so much. Hope you got what you needed. Have a good one.